it's Kate and welcome back to my channel. So today I am making mints and I think it's going to be very fun and interesting because I haven't seen any videos like this before, so it should be very new and exciting, if you will. These are actually obnoxiously easy to make, so it's very cool and fun and interesting. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So if you guys wanted to make these completely entirely from scratch, you would need some ingredients to make gum paste, but I mean honestly for me I don't think it's worth waiting 2 weeks for it to ship. So to start off, you want to take a chunk of gum paste, and the article I read about this said to take roughly an egg-sized piece, but I found it's much easier if you take a larger section and then kind of do it all at once. Otherwise you're going to be mixing this 20 times in a row and it's probably gonna get a bit old after a while. So after you mix it all together, you're going to add in whatever other colorings you would like. I just used regular food dyes. I know they have gel kinds and the squirty kinds, and then they have liquid drops. I used the squirty kinds because that's what I had. But I'm sure anything would work for this because it's very simple and easy. I found the easiest way to mix this all together was to kind of flatten it and put a little hole in the center of your kind of dough piece. And then into the little hole you want to put in any extracts or coloring that you have, and then kind of fold it up like a taco, and then continue folding it and squishing it until you have it all mixed together. And that way it's not going to squirt out everywhere and dye your hands random colors and stuff. So I tried this a few different ways the first time around and they all worked, but my hands did get dyed a bunch of different colors. All the extracts I found were right by the spices and stuff at Walmart. So there I actually found not only mint extract, but they had coffee extract. So I decided to try them both out. I think the mint one worked out a little bit better than the coffee one because the coffee extract is actually brownish. So if you're mixing that with whatever dough kind of stuff that you have already, it's going to be a bit faded and murky and stuff. Then of course when you're done you want to roll this out into a thinner kind of sheet. The thinner you roll it out, the easier it's going to be for it to dry. So I tried a few different ways. I tried using a straw to kind of punch out smaller mints, and that worked well. I had to use a toothpick to kind of push it out. But those took an eternity to make one singular mint. So to do the entire thing that way is going to take you a very long time. Afterwards I tried to cut them into thin strips, but that didn't look as pretty as I was hoping. And then finally I started using the small heart-shaped cookie cutter, and I rolled these out really thin when I did it this way, so that they were almost little tiny wafers that you could fit on your tongue, almost like a baby Pringle, but mint, you know. Afterwards, when I was playing around to make the second batch, I actually figured out that you can use a teaspoon or a quarter teaspoon or an eighth of a teaspoon, and you can use these as a cookie cutter to cut out the different shapes that you would like and different sizes if you would like that, and it works pretty well. The only thing I would say though is that you have to make sure that it's pretty much filled or at least coated with sugar if you would like to do this. Confectioner sugar for this is going to be so important because you actually need a ton of it. If you don't have enough confectioner sugar to put on the surface you're working on or to mix in with the actual dough type thing, it's going to be a bit off of a consistency and very sticky and nasty to work with. And then finally, to make the rainbow ones that I did that you probably saw in the intro, I actually took some dough type stuff and dyed it different colors, of course, and then I basically just coated the inside of a teaspoon again with confectioner sugar and squished each of the little pieces of dough into it, and then afterwards I just used a toothpick to kind of pull it out and then let these sit. These of course took a longer time to dry than the other ones because they are so thick, but it is winter, so if you have a heater type thing, or we have a wood burning stove in our basement, so I put the mints by the stove so it was drier in the air and everything was a bit warmer, just so they would dry up really quickly. So these can take up to really 2 or 4 days to dry, which is kind of an obnoxious amount of time. So just be aware of that if you wanted to make these. They do take a little bit to dry, but at the same time I think they're totally worth it in the end. And of course if you put these by fire or something, they will dry obnoxiously quickly in comparison to how they would have dried otherwise. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. I worked really hard on it. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at Kate Mancini. You can also comment on this video if you would like to. If not, you know, you do you. And I hope you're all doing wonderfully and having a great life and stuff. That's pretty cool. I'll see you guys very soon. Goodbye.